Let me increase my mic because it's always low when I start my PC. I don't know why that happens. Anyway, welcome back to Clea Obscure Expedition 33. Not much going on in this stream. Most people who are interested in the game have already finished it, so you're not gonna. Hopefully, you don't mind being spoiled by the end of the game. We are here to do this following boss fight solo, and with a times 100 multiplier, and I was practicing for it before I stopped when Wu Chang came out, and now I'm just jumping back into it so I don't lose my muscle memory entirely for the game. I'm gonna keep the cutscene running for this first attempt, but afterwards we're gonna just jump right into the battle.
Clea. You're alive. What happened to her?
I bet Clea hated Maman's portrait of her, so she painted over her.
And now she paints nevrons.
Can you heal her? Can you change her back?
I can't repaint her. Claire's the only one skilled enough to paint over someone else's creation.
Correct, she is actually not alive, but this is, well, technically speaking, everyone in the painting, whether they're alive or not, is a bit of a question.
I don't like this.
Because you're not sure
This is
what's
gonna be
happening with
tough.
them. Hey, welcome to an awesome boss fight. Probably, to me, being killed more than a few times. We're doing this solo, so only Mile here.
Let's dance! Spill some ink.
Luckily, we seem to have survived our first hit. Let me adjust the volume a bit so it's not blaring into my ear over here. And take out my glasses, because I am getting a bit blind these days. Or at least I feel like I am. For some odd reason, I'm seeing that my connection is a bit unstable, so if you guys are watching anywhere, you might be getting a few odd frames or something going on. There we go. Just gonna switch off the other stuff. I think it's only because I was messing with the settings earlier on. Because of that, the bitrate is kind of all over the place. Anyway, let's begin. If you guys haven't sort of figured it out already, I'm gonna go a very glass cannon build. We're gonna keep Miles' HP as low as possible to give us as much damage as possible.
Let's dance!
Now it's a question of how rusty have I gotten from playing for Chang and then coming back to this. Not too rusty, hopefully. I'm doing okay so far.
On me.
How's the game audio for you all? Is it too loud?
Not looking good.
See, I say I'm not gonna be too rusty, but it's gonna be the move that I'm most used to that's gonna hit me in the end. And I'm paying a bit more attention since I haven't played in a while. Normally I'm like very lackadaisical at the start, because it's a phase you've seen over and over again, right?
On me.
Oh, okay. It's probably because, yeah, it's probably because I'm keeping the music itself like a bit higher than usual. So I'm gonna lower that just enough, and it works. When I'm playing, like most video games, what I have a tendency to do, you know, is reduce the music and increase the voices of the people so that it's a lot clearer to hear. Assuming that, well, the game's mixing is a bit difficult to make out, right? If the game's mixing is great, I usually don't have to touch those dials, but if they're not... In the case of Expedition, I think the mixing is okay, but a lot of the sound cues, a lot of parrying relies on sound cues, right? So you want to keep the music slightly lower so you can hear the sound effects, and that's the reason why I had to adjust it, which might be why you're hearing the voices a bit louder than anything else.
Ready to carry.
I am indeed.
Ready to carry.
Okay, not too bad.
Ready to carry. Okay.
And now that's the damage I'm sort of used to, the 11 million right there. I know there have been some changes to this fight, just so you guys know I practice a bit off stream as well, but since I was working on Wu Chang, I didn't really stream my expedition practice, right? And one of the big changes you'll see in a few seconds, when we get around 50%, I'll try and explain those. Oh, I should have used Pyrolyze there. Did not check the stats before I started using Burning Canvas. The way Burning Canvas works is that you want to have as many stacks as possible before you use it. The description of the skill states that the more burn stacks you have, the stronger it is. That said, I sort of think it functions not exactly as it's described, right? Like if you look at Burning Canvas, deals high single target void damage, 5 hits, applies 1 burn per hit. Damage increase for each burn on the target. Damage does indeed increase for each burn on the target. However, there seems to be sort of a weird fall off, or maybe even a cap at 100 stacks. So what I've been doing in my runs is I'll usually apply Pyrolyze instead, because Pyrolyze gives a lot more fire stacks. And once the total fire stacks are above 100, that's when we go for Burning Canvas, which at that point is maximizing damage. Oh, and unfortunately, I lost my greater power. There's a bit of a loop that they're going to be doing with Maya over here, and that is basically to grant her greater powerful with greater shell, because I have shell and powerful, and then we're going to keep the stacks above 100 and use Burning Canvas. If the stacks are below 100, we're going to use Pyrolyze. It's as simple as that. Nothing too complex. I'm going to phase 2 now, almost. Yeah, the next move will be phase 2. So in phase 2 she'll have a different free set of moves, which is agile, violent, and deep. Let me take a quick sip of this tea over here. Okay, her stacks are at 92 right now, and even at this rate, you'll sort of start to see that the damage does not increase per burn stack. It sometimes stays a bit constant. And I've been wondering whether it's sort of like a multiplier effect, right? The damage buff is applied when we use the skill, or it is applied per hit. I don't exactly know. I feel like it does at lower burn stacks, but it is a bit of a fall off the higher you go. So yeah, you see the damage increase for each hit upwards to 100 stacks.
Okay. I'm not giving up.
This is a Pyrolyze.
Witness the flame.
But beyond this point, I don't think damage will actually increase.
Let's start.
While giving us a nice amount of burn. Okay, yeah. So I have lost my touch on Agile Nemron, unfortunately. Let's head to the reserve team. Let's see how long we last with Verso. Just for a bit more practice, right? I've technically failed the solo challenge there. Oh wow, I can't believe it. So it seems I was okay for Agile, that was just me not concentrating properly. The big one has to be though Tricky Nebron, and okay, usually pre-patch, right? pre-patch, the latest patch, anyways, Clea would do a specific move at 50% that took the player off the board. Now, however, I feel like if you can out-damage her, she actually does not do that move sometimes. It definitely does not proc at 50% now, and I'm not quite sure how the move is working entirely. Should summon a large Burgess and disable of the player. That doesn't happen now as much. With Verso, we have a bit of a different tactic. We're going to be shooting her as much as possible and then using follow-up for a big hit afterwards. And as you can see, he can do a lot of damage with the correct proc. Okay, I am having trouble with Agile, so that's the move I need to relearn, and it's unfortunate that it is Agile, because Agile is one of the more difficult ones to get properly right. And another quality of life feature with the latest patch, you can retry battles. Unfortunately, I kind of wish they allowed us to skip the cutscene as well, because we still have to do that manually. But hey, at least we can jump straight into the battle without the run button, which is nice. Definitely a very appreciated quality of life. Oh, what? I got hit by musical, and that's a death. Even if we lost the shields, we have burn on us if we're gonna die immediately. So I'm just gonna restart here. Getting a little too complacent. No, we're not gonna send in the reserve team so early on. I am not entirely sure when the move that removes the player from the board appears now, so I want to keep Verso as a backup just in case until we reach phase 3, because somehow I managed to reach phase 3 this morning, and that move which removes your party member never procs. So I get the feeling that she might actually not do it if you manage to damage her into phase 3. Just assumptions though. Things we need to sort of figure out. It's the trigger for it is less clear now, whereas previously it was very obvious that we always did this move at 50%. To realize what we need to do. That's to get our burn stats up. Might be be me, but I almost feel like the game is sort of stuttering now, as opposed to before. Oh no, I used... No, come on. I used too much shots there. Let's just guard up. Get that card greater powerful. A bit of a break there, not the intended way to go here. Making sure our shots are correct this time. But yeah, as you can see, the numbers are not going up here, so beyond 100 stacked, Burning Canvas has a different sort of multiplier. Or it might just be hard count. Ideally, we should have been using Firelight there, but because of the speed difference, this is the one time we get a one-on-one turn against Clea.
Okay.
Witness the flames.
Okay.
Still a ways away from phase 2. We kind of have to get back our buff here. Messing up that initial Pyrolyze and Burning Canvas seems to have lowered our damage output quite a bit. Because I feel like we would have already almost reached phase 2 by now.
We take everything. Let's dance.
Definitely using a lot more Pyrolyze here to maintain our stats.
Ready to power.
Oh, what? No.
Can do.
Ah. See, this is what This was what I was expecting before, right? To be hit by that one move that I'm like very confident I can do. Unfortunately, what this has done is it has lowered our power considerably. Not only did I lose all my shields, which were contributing to my damage, because Miles is relying on a buff called Shield Affinity, which grants her more damage the more shields she has. But with the powerless buff on her as well, the amount of damage she's doing is like considerably low. So what I'm gonna do is just restart the fight here. I don't feel like it's worth continuing on.
Ready to carry.
It's always the ones you don't expect, right? Like in my head, I'm like, it's just creepy. No need to worry about it. Then it hits me. Let me grab a little water over here before we begin the fight.
Clea.
Strangely appropriate that we're using Mikh'a and Verso against this fight, considering they are the ones most closely related to Clea. Yeah, see? That was tricky and we did fine. It's always the ones, again, the ones that you don't quite expect that you get hit by.
Lost chance.
If I die this time or make a mistake this time, I might actually shift to Verso at the start instead of Mikh'a, because it's a bit luck-based, but Verso can do significantly more damage than Mikh'a with our current setup. In truth, the best member I think to do damage would be CL, but I have not sort of leveled up or set her up that way, so we can't use her to her maximum damage potential. He's a surprisingly versatile character. An excellent support, and as well as an excellent DPS.
Not looking good.
Make sure we actually do the right amount of bullet shots this time.
Ready to carry. Ready to carry.
Something that I used to get surprised by earlier quite a bit was when she would use the same moves twice in a row. I always had it in my head that she sort of cycles through all of them, right? But that's not the case, as you can clearly see. It doesn't surprise me as much now. You know, I came across a pretty interesting video today. It was about another Souls-like game that was recently released, and I had not heard about this one. I probably saw it or got recommended it because I was playing Wu Chang at the moment. But this new Souls-like is called Bleak Fate. And the review wasn't exactly too glowing.
Ready to parry.
Because, well, in general, he was like, it's okay. Oh, the takeaway that I got from it was that the game is okay. But it was made by 3 people, which is exceptional, by the way. 3 people making a video game is a lot of passion and effort. I can't stand it about that. But because it was made by 3 people, and the reviewer was sort of displaying this as well when we were playing, and when he was showcasing the game, there were a lot of areas where if you'd like to explore, you could clip through boundaries and get to areas which the player probably was never intended to go to. Because there were little areas with messed up textures, like very high ledges, you go through walls. It sort of makes sense, right? A team of 3 people, if you have had too much time or personnel to quality test a semi-open world game, right? But what was interesting to me is that despite this, the game had a very unique art style, and something about that art style made me feel extremely uneasy. I couldn't quite understand why. It's like all the structures are very, how do I put it? It's all interconnected and sparsing and large. It's like you're looking at one of those paintings where everything is connected to each other. You know, the stairs are upside down, and if you go up one, it connects to another one through perspective. It was kind of like that. And as a whole, a very creepy vibe. The art style is amazing. Not was, I guess. Oh. Yeah. Okay, that's dead. I'm just gonna kill myself here. Things that happen when I try to talk about other topics instead of focusing on what we need to do. But yes, am I gonna pick up Bleak Fate? I don't quite think so. I'm not quite sold on its package. It has a very nice presentation, but presentation alone isn't what you're looking for in a video game, right? Just listening to that reviewer, he didn't seem to have anything to say that was remarkable about the combat itself. Just that the weapons felt very different was the main point I got. Like, each weapon has a different combo string, a different number of combos. But yeah, if you are interested in another Souls-like, well, we're waiting for arguably Lost Soul Aside, which is coming very soon. I think on the 29th of this month. Check out Bleak Fate. Or if you're one of those people who have been suffering this Souls-like fatigue, don't check it out. Try something else for a change. Maybe you can take a break from serious Souls-like games with something cutesy and bright like Fantasy Life. Or if you prefer something bleak, just maybe Death Stranding. Do something a little different, go to old packages. Enjoy the nice visuals and all. And the gorgeous world. Gorgeous and very optimized world, might I add.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know how they do it. Death Stranding looks so much... It's on another level. Considerably better than a lot of other games, and somehow they've managed to make it run equally as good. Which is amazing. And I haven't even seen too much of the game, right? Because, yeah, again, Wu Chang came out, and I went into Wu Chang. dropping everything I just told you guys about Fantasy Life and Death Stranding and even Expedition.
Okay.
And the reason I say this is that even though I enjoyed Wu-Chang a lot, and I really, really like the game, right? For various reasons. It's not the one you're thinking. I know you all are in the background are, of course you like it. But for a certain reason. But no, it's not the reason you're thinking. I just really like the combat and the presentation the game holds, right? However, the one thing I do not like, the one thing I dislike about the game is its performance. It's very, very rare for me to play a PS5 game or a PlayStation game, I guess, that stutters or freezes, but Wu-Chang actually does that.
Void take
It was
everything.
very, very surprising to me. It's also a bit of a shame, but for an action game, it does not run at what seems like a constant
Okay.
60 FPS. It's close, but it doesn't quite get there.
Can do it.
You know what else I've been feeling like playing recently is, I guess it's not a popular genre, and I'm not even sure whether the younger crowd even knows this. Probably worldwide it's much more well known, right? And that is the shmup genre, the shoot 'em up genre. They released, I think, a Gradius collection on PlayStation, and I've been curious as to whether I should pick it up or not. Gradius isn't the normal bullet hell one. It's more like a side scroller where you take the plane and fly through enemies who are both coming at you and shooting at you. But in a lot of ways, I think I have been influenced by the PS1 release of another Square Enix title called, I'm not sure if people even remember this game, it's called Einhander. It is also, now that I think about it, technically a shmup.
Ready to parry.
I think shmups were like one of the first few games I played on PC. I don't quite know the name of the game right now. I'll probably have to refer to the subreddit like Tickle the Joystick and all. But it was a game where you're flying a, what would I even call it? A fighter jet? A helicopter? It was one or the other. My memory is so hazy, I'm not even sure whether it was a helicopter or a fighter jet. I feel like it was a fighter jet, right? A Raptor or something. And you were basically controlling the Raptor left and right as you were going through the scrolling field of enemies from a top-down perspective. It was one of the earliest games I played. And although not easy by any means, I do remember beating it as a kid. But somehow, going through all that bullets, all the enemies was incredibly satisfying.
Let's dance.
Keep in mind, that was the first PC game I played, right? But other than that, I think almost everyone had played the usual stuff on PC back then. The pinball game, Minesweeper, Solitaire, and even that one little archery game where you were trying to sort of shoot a target in the distance. The first game I ever played, and I had completely lost the name of this game for a very, very long time, is the SNES RPG. Is it even a SNES RPG? I'm not sure whether it's a SNES RPG, but it was an RPG called Terra Enigma.
Void take everything.
to this day, I have still not finished it. I went to like endgame of that game. Each time I remember the name and picking it up, but
Let's dance.
I have somehow never managed to finish that game, which I really, really like.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Again? We're not even getting to phase 2 now. Okay.
I can do that.
See, this is what happens when you get distracted. No, we're not gonna send in the reserve team, and I'm gonna focus up a bit here by retrying once again. You're gonna see me do this quite a bit to this whole stream. Just get some tea in me and some water. Gotta balance the hot and the cold.
Clea.
And now we can begin once again. Let's make sure we are actually focused this time and I'm not reminiscing about my childhood video games that I may or may not remember. Oh hey, I haven't seen you in a while, but yes, I am indeed practicing Clea. I really like this fight. Oh no, we're not doing any Stendhal here. I'm doing Burning Canvas. We're not cheesing this fight.
I'm not giving up.
See, I like this. I've actually beaten the fight, just so you know. It's more that I like this fight so much I reloaded and I'm now trying to solo it with the health multiplier. Guesses as to which health multiplier I have equipped right now. Like, I've been doing that in general for Expedition. Like, it's really fun. It's an outrage. I'll admit that Lune is one of the characters that I still haven't properly wrapped my head around, right? Like with Cia, with Monoko, with Versa, with Maya, I sort of figured their mechanics out, but with Lune, I haven't found a good balance where I'm like, okay, this is definitely the build I want for her. But a little experimentation is making me think that Lune might be best served with a lightning build, but hey, who knows? Kinda outclassed, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I do feel like she might be very important for a run I have in mind later on, though. Because there's that one lightning move that just adds on to any attack you do, right? And a friend of mine has sort of challenged me to do this fight with damage capped, so any extra hits I would really appreciate it. Luna's gonna be MVP when and if I attempt that very absurd challenge. Just so you know, I'm not entirely sure I kind of want to do it though. Yeah, what happened to me was that Wu Chang came out, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take a break from the game and play a Souls-like instead. So I went for that, finished it, and then came back.
Void, take.
I have still not finished the story entirely. We're pretty much coming at the point where I paused the game now. Li Chang and the new patch of Final Fantasy XIV, right? Although I haven't done the extreme yet, so who knows? are you skipping 7.3? Interesting. Is it because of no ultimate? I'll be honest, as someone who played 7.3, I'm not sure I can recommend coming back for just 7.3 stuff, right? You have the new Extreme, which is pretty fun online. But then, you know, it's kind of depressing when even I, of all people, can't recommend FF14 to people. Have faith in Yoshiki. No, to be fair, on my end, it's not that I dislike how the current Final Fantasy XIV is. It's just that there are a lot of other good games that came about this year, right? And I can probably show you guys what I've been doing even now. Like, for one thing, I'm playing Expedition, right? This is what we're completing, which is really good. Death Stranding 2, I haven't played it too much, 26 hours as you can see, but also really, really good. Fantasy Life, I love this game. Yeah, I know it looks kind of childish and cartoony, but hey, really good, right? Rematch, Night Rain, Split Fiction, Blueprints. That's the main reason. It's not that Final Fantasy has been bad, it's more there are so many other games that have been so exceptional this year that have sort of sucked me in. And no need to defend Final Fantasy Life. I guess it makes sense, right? Final Fantasy and Fantasy Life. Close enough. Close enough. Ah, of course, Balatro. The one game that everyone has been telling me to play. That I'm too afraid to touch because I know I'm gonna get addicted. A puzzle game with numbers and cards? Sign me up. Cheap. Oh, I lost my gun. Turn your brain up and number goes up. Kind of like everyone's favorite series, right? The Yakuza ones. But yeah, I've seen a lot of Balatro gameplay and a lot of friends have recommended it to me. It's more like I know that if I play this, I am gonna be seriously hooked on it, and especially if I install it on mobile. I'm gonna be playing it non-stop at work, which is not ideal at all.
Boy, take everything.
And I mean, you guys don't have to defend puzzle games for me as well. One of my most favorite games is Atlas's Black Sheep. Catherine. I got addicted to that game, and I'm probably gonna get addicted to Balatro too. I mean, there is a reason why Balatro got so many awards, especially considering that it was done by a single developer.
Okay.
Okay, to be fair to Astrobot, it is a good game. It can't be really. No, it's such a discussion over whether Astrobot, Palantro, or Metaphor deserves it. And you might be surprised to find that I'm actually on the side of Astrobot, right? I really like that game. But because I did not play either Metaphor or Palantro, I kind of don't want to say anything. All I can say is like, they're all good games, right? I can't compare without playing it myself. What I personally like, I mean. In the case of Metaphor, it's one game that I want to get a physical copy of, and as you know, getting a physical copy over here in the middle of the Indian Ocean is kind of difficult. No, not yet, not yet. I am stalking the local shops just to see if they're... Oh, the local shops and groups. Just waiting to see if one of them will bring over a Metaphor, because I feel like that is a game you really, really want to get a physical copy of. Forgetting what I'm doing over here. How is Metaphor, by the way? I know a lot of people liked it, but then there was also this weird controversy about it not having the same social link type system as Persona. Okay, now I definitely have to play if it's the game of the year of someone I know. I've been surprisingly... Oh, even ISO likes it? Interesting. I might have really missed out on a good RPG then, right? Because instead of Metaphor, I think I went with Astrobot that time. I was definitely playing something else around that release too. I just don't quite recall what it was. But yeah, I've been surprisingly insulated on the plot and the other details of Metaphor Phantasma. Managing to avoid any spoilers. Okay, getting a bit of my feel back for Agile Nevron. I haven't practiced in a while, and that move always scares me. No, I wasn't saying no, don't spoil me. I'm saying I have surprisingly been able to avoid being spoiled, despite being on the internet. I don't feel like people are talking about it much, other than that controversy I mentioned, right? The fact that you can't have a certain type of social link with characters. Which is kind of weird, because I thought there were social links in the game. If you want, feel free to give me the broad strokes of what's happening. Ah yes, they did specifically refer to the romance. You are correct.
Void, take everything.
Now we are in phase 2, so I might need to focus a bit more, especially if it's Agile, right? Agile is always so tricky.
Ready to parry.
Violent, not so much. At least if you're careful.
On me. Dance begins.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't really mind if romance is not an option in a game, and most of the time, uh, my thought is that if the devs have made a mechanic a certain way and they are not adjusting it according to player feedback or player criticism in some cases, they have a certain idea of how they want the game to be, right? And if the game functions perfectly fine that way, I'm okay with it.
Void took everything.
We have still quite a long way to go to get to phase 3 and the one move that I'm dreading.
Okay. Blades sharpened.
Which is an interesting perspective to have, right? Although I did not pick up Metaphor, I did pick up SMTV, and I felt like it was a bit of a backstep for the series. There were a lot of quality of life stuff, but the performance, I think it might be because I picked up the Switch version, right? Because it was pretty cheap over here. And the Switch version runs like really bad, and the only innovation seems to be just the jump in the game. And don't get me started on the story, I was expecting a bit more from SMT5. Maybe the upgraded version does it a lot better. I just pick it up later. But if, like you're saying, it's the culmination of everything they've learned, I'm definitely placing that on something I have to pick up before the end of this year. Yeah, I probably should have gotten the Vengeance one, right? It's always the case with SMT games that the re-release or the upgraded release is always tons better than their original ones. It's something we should have learned by now, but hey, you get excited on the initial release and just pick the game. Hence, you can enjoy the definitive edition.
Giving up.
Oh wait, is there a definitive edition on Metaphor? There isn't, right? Insofar as I'm aware, there isn't a definitive release for the game, unless you are totally expecting the devs to release it. Because, I mean, yeah, they've done it for everything from Persona 3 to Persona 5. Yeah, exactly, right? Persona 3 has Reload, 4 has Golden, 5 has Royal, SMT5 has Vengeance. Oh, sorry, my mic is speaking a bit. No one's at home, so I'm a bit louder than usual. Yeah, all of their recent games had a sort of upgraded port.
Void took everything. Ready to pounce. Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, come on. That was the easiest hit in the game to get hit by, which is very unfortunate. I'm gonna keep practicing a bit more since we're halfway through. But I get the feeling that there's there was a bit of a change from when I stopped playing the game and I picked it up now, right? Earlier, what would happen was when you reach 50% on this fight, Clea would summon this one, would do this one move which would eat the character. And I had set it up in a way that Mile would be removed from the board and replaced with Verso. But now it seems that even beyond 50%, there's a chance she might not do the move. It is a bit of a shame that we got hit by that last one though. It just didn't focus enough, I guess. Time for a lot more practice. The sad thing is, this build that I'm doing relies on having those shields, right? We got the shields from the death of the other characters in the party, and for each shield I got, I would have a huge boost in damage. So now, our counter damage at least is going to be docked considerably. It was 11 to 10 mil before, it's going to be like 3 to 2 mil now.
Void, take everything.
But I suppose the longer the fight goes on, the more practice we're going to get for moves, especially for HR.
On me.
Been doing this fight for so long. I'm starting to think the move is simple and I just can't get it. So it still does a decent amount of damage with burning canvas. It's just that going from getting like 10 mil per counter to 3 mil really slows down the fight at the SHP level. What's frustrating for me is that you got hit on that last one. Because it's the initial flurry of attacks which are more difficult to parry. Yep. The OST is one of the reasons why I actually started learning the fight too. By the way, have you seen the trailer for Project Century? Because I know you are a huge fan of that series. One of the games that I'm really looking forward to. Project Century. I think there is another name for it as well. Let me just check, like real quick. Project Century. Oh, yeah, Stranger Than Heaven. That's the name. In case you're wondering, my chat has sort of messed up and I'm trying to kind of fix it. Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm surprised because I thought you, Lance, would be kind of interested in the Yakuza games. I, for one, am pretty excited for it. I say that, but I am excited as much as Mikh'a can be. Because you know what they say, don't buy too much into the trailer, right? That's true, right? We haven't heard about it for so long, other than that initial trailer and the reveal of the name. I think they might have revealed their hand like a little too soon. But then it was a good moment to do it too at the Game Awards.
Void take everything. On me. Let's dance.
I'll be honest, whenever I see like new Yakuza news, I always wonder whether you have heard of whatever I'm seeing at the moment. Because I think you might be the biggest fan I know. I mean, there are other people I know who like Yakuza, but you might be the biggest one. And yes, that is how I feel as well. Like, so many good games coming out these days. Like right now, if I don't pick up anything new, I might be picking up Lost Soul when it comes out later this month. Always feels like there's something just around the corner that you can play, and I still haven't finished Death Stranding and Fantasy Life. Backlog's getting bigger. Wondering when she's gonna do that move which removes the player from the board.
Okay.
And the pirate one? That is one I still haven't picked up either. And that's true. I mean, if you're playing the same Mazuma games after a while, it kind of just gets a little too blendy together. I think that's also the reason why they released the games in the RPG format too, just to give the players a bit of a different taste. But yeah, just curious as to when Clea is going to do that move that's going to remove Mile from the board. After the update, I swear I've seen that move at around 75% of her health. We're not quite there yet, but it is weird. I sort of understand why they did it, because now, with the change in how the move works, you're not going to do the entirety of that fight with only 2 player characters on your party. So in a way, it's a balancing change. On the other hand, the fact that they did that sort of changes how predictable the pattern of the fight is. Because at this point, I'd usually have Verso in play. I think the weakness of removing that move at 50% too is that her entire phase 2, which sort of starts around 33% of her health and ends at the final third of her health, is just the same 3 moves: Violent, Agile, and Deep. So you kind of feel like you're fighting against the same moves. But if we were removed, just the change in gameplay between characters makes it a bit more enjoyable. Interesting they decided to patch it this way. Just random thoughts floating inside my head as I do this fight over and over again. As I slowly go mad.
Ready to carry. On me.
Once we get to phase 3, she'll start to incorporate her moves from phase 1 as well. So you're gonna be I'm not entirely certain. Because it's been a sort of a sliding scale of increasing difficulty, right? Initially, I was just trying to defeat her at base health, but then it felt a little too easy, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it on 10 times, and then 20 times, then 50. And I've completed all those, and now we're on 100. Now, on 100, it's not that it's... I definitely feel like I've done this like less than maybe 25 times, right? But because the fight takes so long, it feels like I've been doing it for ages. Until, I mean, Wu Chang came out and I started playing Wu Chang instead of this. Surprisingly, I've been able to retain my muscle memories for most of the parries as long as I'm focusing. I was completely expecting to mess up everything. I'm also very old, Lance. I don't expect to be able to go for those. I guess when you're playing solo like this, right? Not as much pressure even if you mess up. Oh wow, okay. That is the one move that I still haven't learned. And we are in phase 3. The reason I've been able to do like at 25 and 50, up to 25, there was a very rare chance for her to use Tricky Nemron. And that combination is, as the name implies, very tricky to get. So I'm very surprised I managed to parry that one. At 50, the one time I managed to complete times 50 was when I did somehow manage to do that, and she only used it once in that fight. So somehow, it's entirely possible to play the fight now without losing your party member, because I don't think she uses that move that removes the party member beyond this point, beyond phase 3. Aren't we all? I don't know. I sometimes feel like you guys have endless stamina when you're going into so many ultimates over and over again.
Void, take everything.
To be fair to myself though, during the Dragon Song period I was constantly in and out of ultimates myself, so a little tooting of my own horn. Burnout is real. I kind of felt it extremely a lot on Omega, but with Gaia and Rhine, it felt more fun to do. Maybe because I was also healing that fight, so a bit of a different tactic to the usual tanking Mikh'a there. So a part of me suspects that my healing might be actually the reason why our progress was so slow.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's why I liked Fru so well. Because he is still my favorite ultimate in the game. And I would place Fru next to it. Oh wait, not Fru, I'd place DSR next to it. Like DSR presentation wise is still quite impressive. What they did with both the story and the mechanics. And I doubt any other Final Fantasy game has come close to doing that, so. You know, I'm kind of tempted to just die and move on over to Verso. We're gonna keep going as much as we can. She's gonna throw Tricky Nevron at us, and I still am not completely sure I can properly parry that one.
Okay.
It's a slow burn, but we're making it. You know, that reminds me, one of the things that I've been intending to do that I've completely forgotten until now, and for some reason I'm suddenly remembering, is to actually move my console onto my UPS. Right now, it's a very small UPS, right? So right now it's only my PC and one monitor which is connected to UPS, but we've been having a lot of electricity problems. And one of my friends actually lost their console from a recent blackout. It didn't used to be the case, but it has oddly been a bit sporadic this past few months, right? Like very randomly they'll go. And whenever we check the news from our electric company, they're like, we apologize for the... I'm gonna paraphrase it so that you guys sort of get the feeling of what I feel like they were saying. We apologize for the inconvenience. We are working to repair the function due to a technical error. That's basically, that's as mechanical and robotic as that notice sounds. And they use the same notice over and over again. I think during the past 2 months, there have been like 5 blackouts, and a lot of people are complaining about it. The same message, it's a technical error, we're working on it, but no details at all. And a lot of people are sort of worried. I don't quite know why I suddenly remembered that, but I feel like a very important need to change this afterwards, because I don't want to lose my console anytime soon. I know a lot of you out there, however, deal with that constantly. Whereas over here, it didn't, again, used to be the case, but now I feel I'm sort of starting to understand that fear quite substantially. And it's not only my console that I'm worried about. My PC is already connected to the UPS, but this is sort of my work PC where I do all my freelance work, right? If it's damaged, it's gonna hurt a lot. No, I should have used Pyrolyze this turn, like Burning Canvas. We are low on stacks. Because I think Burning Canvas caps out on 100 stacks of burn. So yeah, how has your week been? It has been an interesting week for us with the blackouts. In a bit of a funny story, one of the blackouts happened while at work, right? And the entire office is taking a lunch break that day. And they're like, you know what, let's head to lunch, everyone. And I'm like, you know what, I have a lot of work, I'm gonna stay. And the moment everyone leaves for lunch, the blackout happens at work. And I end up doing nothing for an hour. Okay, yeah. I mean, I sort of understand. Once you get to Friday, it's like you're exhausted with everything that happens on the week. I'm assuming it was a busy week. Hopefully not too stressful. Well, I didn't mind just the peace and quiet in the office. But a part of me was like, you know what, I really should have gone to lunch with the others. Luckily, for the times that the blackout has happened while I'm at home, I've had a novel that I've never got to finish, and having that around has sort of blunted the edge of the blackouts that we have at home. It's a fantasy novel called The Poppy Wars, and surprisingly good. I got it as a gift, but didn't really pick it up until the blackouts happened, and I got addicted almost immediately to it. It's about this one Chinese orphan, not exactly sure when the time period is, who is initially being sold to a rich merchant as a bride, right? And then she tries to escape that life by taking part in this nationwide exam and applying for a military academy. And then she heads over there and discovers that because of her orphan background, she's sort of being prejudiced against. And there's a bit of a fantasy element in there because she manages just to awaken some sort of powers that are related to various Chinese mythological gods. In this case, the phoenix, right? But the way they frame it is through the use of opiates and other weird, nonsensical sounding herbs that a certain teacher in the academy, the outcast teacher, as it would be, teacher uses to help her sort of control her powers. Very, very interesting. I was quite surprised by how engaged I was with the novel. And if you're curious, check it out. The Poppy Wars. You're gonna hear me talk about random streams when we are struggling against bosses like this. Don't mind me. Okay, there we go. That's the move I was expecting to die. But we have Verso in check, so we can still continue a bit more. Understandable. Someone once told me that I am best left in background noise. What? Oh, okay, I'm so confused. I actually pressed jump there, and it felt like the jump didn't register. Kind of a shame, since we actually got so far in the battle. Yeah. Also, I'm not taking that as an insult, by the way. I do this a lot too. I'll have a video essay or something in the background while I'm working, and sometimes when I'm trying to just take a nap. Alright, once more into the fray. How long have I been? I'm gonna go for like 30 more minutes and then probably take a break. Now we have Mikh'a back at her full power, more or less, once we use the last stand here and get enough burn stacks. is always nice to see.
Okay.
Yeah, tricky Nipron. The one move we need to master.
Not looking good.
Now, the challenging part of this equation is going to be if she once again randomly throws out that move, which removes Maya from the fight.
On me.
Almost thought I missed the first strike on that one.
Blades sharpened. On me. On me. Not looking good.
You say that, Maya, but we're
Take
actually okay, more or less. Better than we were at the end of the last turn, with you using all your shields. The fog sort of getting in the way there.
hurt.
Though, to be honest, even if the fog kind of blinds us, musical is pretty easy to parry. For the first two hits, you want to just listen to the impact sound, right? And for the third and fourth hit, it's a bit delayed, but you're still listening to the impact. And the last one, you just want to parry when the trumpet is hitting the ground. Just pretty much relying on tells that I've gotten used to time everything. But this one, for the first three hits, it's the flailing cloth. You see those moving around, just parry. The last one is when it's coming down. Here we go. Impact, impact, delay, delay, and then trumpet on the ground.
Okay. On me.
The difference that having the counterattack damage makes to the pace of the fight is amazing. And we're almost to her phase 2, which is that little right angle triangle divot on the HP bar. If we fail this run, I might shift Mikh'a over with Verso, because the way Verso is set up, the damage is a bit randomized because he has the roulette picto on him, but he does do a bit of a crazy amount of damage, more than Mikh'a. Luck being the key factor here. Surprisingly, the roulette picture is actually a gain on. It could, even though it sort of feels like that it's 50-50, because it's actually 250%. So there's like a 1.25 or 25% damage multiplier when you average it all out. Things you think about when you try to maximize damage in this game.
Void, take everything.
I do believe we'll be in phase 2 once we start counterattacking with 2 moves afterwards. But that's the general loop for Mikh'a that we'll be doing until probably the last third of her health bar if she does not do that one move, which again removes the player from the party. The general loop being just buff her up with greater powerful, keep the stacks of burn above 100, and then just use burning canvas over and over again. Not the most tactically engaging thing to do, but it's working out for us. I know Stendhal is the favorite way to go, but I feel like burning canvas is the better move to use if you're playing a battle of attrition. There we go, phase 2. Can indeed have faith in yourself. No, because I'll be having faith in myself here.
Everything.
Now we are properly in phase 3. I mean phase 2, not 3. Hurry the pace along. With a little luck, if we get violent as one of the moves, we can keep the stacks up without having to rely on Paralyze. Oh no, that was too soon. No. The one move that we need to focus on. You know what? I'm gonna take like a 1 to 2 minutes break. Go get myself some water, and then oh, you know what? I should have used the reserve team there and just check out what happens. But okay, we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna adjust it so that Verso is the one who's gonna be in the party later on. And we'll start with Verso and then replace Mikh'a as the backup. Yeah. Be right back in a few minutes. Hey, lads, just unpausing for a second. Have a nice rest. I know you mentioned you were tired and all. No worries. I'm just here to chat with you guys whenever you're free. And now, to go get that bottle of water again. All right, and back. Oh, come now, King. You of all people should know why I usually take a break around this time, right? I must admit, I'm a bit surprised you were around though. I thought you would be taking a break too. But yes, let's get back into the swing of things. And as I said, we'll be using Verso. Not Lune, not Wild, not Monaco. We'll be using Verso and CL as our starting lineup, just to see how much damage we're going to be doing at the start. I'm pressing circle to run. I completely forgotten. Oh, I came back to sort of reply to LXD games over here. Oh, Lance, as I am more familiar with.
Clea.
Skip. Did I have Monoko in the park? I could have sworn I only had Verso and CL, but somehow Monoko actually snuck in. Interesting. Verso is not going to be doing too much damage counter-wise, which is why I'm kind of curious as to what's going to happen. It is interesting that he's aimed directly at Clea, unlike Mikh'a, who's at the side, because it makes it a bit easier for you to aim your shots at her. And unlike Mikh'a, where you're sort of trying to keep the burn stacks as high as possible, with Verso, we're going to be using as many shots as possible and following up with a lucky mark. And the follow-up skill itself. So you gotta give props for that amazing line, I am the Immortal. Yeah, as you can see, on a lucky hit, Verso does a lot more damage than Mikh'a. His setup is also a lot easier. It's just shoot and then follow up. And just hope you get a lucky crit. Which in this case we did. 21 mil. Verso is also set up in a way that he gets more AP per parry, so even if you get one turning, he can usually get back his entire AP bar. And I believe a lot of people call this machine gun Verso, because we're just shooting and then using follow-up. 33 mil! Wow, okay, you do a lot of damage, Verso. You can sort of see why I've kept him in the back row, in the back line for phase 2. I mean phase 3. Before, when it was guaranteed that Mikh'a will be removed. Because those lucky shots like really add up. It makes the fight go like so much faster. Another 33.
Not impressed.
Which in a sense works for us, because we kind of know all the moves, all the early moves anyway, right? Now it's a bit of luck as to whether Clea is going to use that one move to remove Verso, at which point we'll have to bring in Mikh'a again. But thematically it's appropriate that it's Verso and Mikh'a fighting Clea, the younger brother and the younger sister. Not too high. I'll take it.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Same line, different presentation.
I've lived through worse.
Oh, hey, Ellie, thanks for the follow. Unfortunately, I do not have alerts set up because when I set up sound alerts, a certain friend of mine was very insistent on and annoying me with it. But hey, okay, have fun, King. Take a good break, and you know where to find me. Oh, if I'm not doing this further on tonight, I'll probably be on Wuchang again. So what are we doing again? I completely lost track of what we were supposed to do. There we go. Damaging Clea over here.
Oh well.
And good luck with your D&D tonight, because it is Friday, and I don't usually spend it with the others on a D&D session. Your path to Dungeon Master awaits. Aw, you got the low skill ceiling right there.
Oh well.
Low damage ceiling on skill. Oh, no, okay. You know what, I might join you guys later then for a bit of Mikh'a break. Don't hold me to that. I still like playing Wuchang, but who knows, who knows. Oh, I'm also realizing I've lost my powerful buff. No wonder we weren't doing too much damage. Powerful requires 3, so we're gonna just lower our AP to around that. It's been so long since I've been on Verso in this fight, right? We've been using Mikh'a all this while.
Just try it. I think I'll improvise.
Think I'll improvise. Kind of what we're doing, to be honest, Verso. Unfortunately.
Oh well.
See, the thing with Verso right now is that he's equipped with the roulette pick tool, right? So you get hits which are like really, really high, and some which were considerably lower than what we were doing with Mikh'a. But when you do get those like big meaty hits, it feels so satisfying. Our general route for Verso is what people call the machine gun Verso. Just use all your shots and then follow up with follow up. And if you're lucky, you get something to hit like 24. This is phase 2 right now.
Just try it.
Oh, come on. He's gonna heal with that. I got a little too excited from getting here so soon. I don't think Verso loses too much from losing his shields, though I might be wrong. If we are wrong, I'm just gonna move over to either Mikh'a or restart the fight. Because the 2 moves that I need to practice on this fight are... Come on, let's get to 2 there. You're getting a lot of AP back. The 2 moves we need to practice is HR and Pick It Up Rock. Okay, decent damage. 18 though. Not as high as before. Or we could do like 33 have a lucky shot. And that was definitely without bullet power.
Bring it on.
know what? Since it's early on, let's just reset. I feel like it's a bit of a shame that we kind of died. I mean, we lost the shields here. And the way the setup is that the shields actually provide quite a significant amount of damage to yourself. So we're gonna lose the fight over here, not bring in our backup, and then retry. So I'm kind of hearing some weird screaming going on outside. Curious to see what's going on there.
Clea.
Once more into the framework. Wait a minute, we're back on Mikh'a. Oh my. Okay, I see. The save was before I changed to Verso, so it started back on Mikh'a. I didn't even notice that we were running in as Mikh'a. Okay. Yeah, no, look, I'm gonna reset here. Sorry, Mikh'a. We're gonna do a little save before we begin the fight next time, just to make sure that we're going in as Verso and not Mikh'a. Yep. And no. Is it because I thought we chose retry battle. Is the retry battle saved in a different state? Lune, Mikh'a. Verso, Mikh'a, and CL. Okay, that looks good. Completely unexpected there. And you know what I'm gonna do before we run into the little ring over here and trigger the cutscene? Because I think that's where the cutscene trigger happens. I'm gonna I could blow them, Confuso, and then back to blow them, right? Because I do believe that sort of creates a soft save for us, and we can begin immediately with. A little tip for you guys who are practicing. Not that we need to do it as much. The reason you sort of did that before
Oh well.
was to shorten your run back to the boss. However, the devs have been very kind enough to add a really appreciated quality of life feature, which is the retry function. Something that the game sorely needed, because everyone loves the bosses in this game. Myself included, right? Let's start off with... Oh, I'm so confused. Because I haven't used Verso in so long. What do I do here? Oh, right, okay. We're gonna go to Overload, because the weapon, Blodam, works on... scales on health. As you can see, my perfection right now is at D, because my health is at full. But if I use Overlord and get my health very low, basically to 1, we get an S rank.
Oh well.
Well, indeed. Nice amount of counter damage there. Let's start off. Yeah, just see, folks, this is the problem that comes with age. You tend to forget the strat that you're trying to do. Which, in my case, is quite simple. We're shooting as much as you can and then following up for some really good damage. There we go. But whether we're gonna get good damage or not is sort of luck based, because again, Verso has the reluctant kill gun, so sometimes it's just gonna do 8 more and not the full amount of damage.
Bring it on.
And you guys might be like, wait, why are you doing that? Why are you gimping your damage? But the truth is, the way the roulette picto works, right? Excuse me? The way the roulette picto works is that it's either it lowers your damage to 50%, or it increases your damage by 200%. It's very easy to think of it as it's doubling your damage, but in truth, it is a bit more than that. The difference between the two is when you average it out, it sort of becomes 1.25, right? 25% a gain over not using it. So whether you're proccing the high effect or not, you're sort of gaining over a long fight. And since this is a long fight, we kind of want to have it upon us. And that will be all for Mikha''s explanation of mechanics. Now we just need to rely on luck to get the proc.
Bring it on.
I like how Verso was right. Bring it on. Just what I said. We just need to rely on luck. Almost like he was replying to me. I appreciate your faith in me, Verso. Oh, and he rewarded that fate with a whopping 34 mil attack right there.
Just try it.
Just try it.
I'll manage.
We're kind of doing like really well on the roulette proc side. I feel like we're proccing it a lot more than we're not getting it. Or not. Okay. Just prove me wrong, Verso. Just prove me wrong. And then prove me right. It almost like feels like the character is rebelling against everything I'm saying. Reverse the psychology of souls. Kind of funny when you think about it. Kind of funny.
Not impressed.
I mean, we kind of are improvising, just we have a strat all planned out for our improvisation. Let's get you bumped back up. I'm wondering if I should have kept longer powerful on Verso, so we could avoid casting powerful every few attacks.
Cut him down.
Aw. When you don't get the proc,
Oh well.
the disappointment. I have to say, just switching to Verso was weirdly refreshing
Bring it on.
after playing as Mikh'a for so long. I'm sure I'll get a bit bored of playing as him in a few runs, but right now, after being Mikh'a for so long and doing a different pattern, it feels nice. This must be how gacha gamers feel like whenever they get a new character. Wow, 37, and we're into phase 2 with that.
Bring it on. Last ditch effort.
Last ditch effort. And that is a good ditch effort if I ever saw one. And today... Aw, only 2 mil? We can do better than that.
Not impressed. I'll manage. Time to leave. Not impressed.
There we go. Damn.
Cut him down.
Very nice. I must admit, it feels very good that we're sort of increasing the pace of the fight. Not trudging through it in a battle of attrition, right? Cut them down. Agreed, Urso. That is our attempt. We're gonna do it perfectly. Urso, perfectly. That is our attempt here. If you guys are wondering, I'm actually not too good a video gamer. I just end up trying over and over until I get it. So trust me, if I can do it, you all can too. But I'm not sure how long it's gonna take any one of us to get a challenge run like this down.
Oh well.
Well.
I've lived through worse.
I kind of love Verso's voice lines, right? It's very sardonic. Is that the right word? Or is it sarcastic, right? I've lived through worse. And then he just goes all edge mode and gives you the cool little lines, right? If you use Overlord, sometimes he'll say something like, I am the immortal, which is kind of cool, but at the same time, some people might find it a bit embarrassing. There's also a bit of a funny line for when he revives. He's like, oh, did I die again? Which completely cracks me up the first time I heard it.
Oh well. I've lived through worse.
I've lived through worse. Something each and every one of us who's lived through this these past few years will feel like. I swear there was a weird sound effect there, like a charge-up sound. 26. There we go.
Cut him down.
Time to rebuff ourselves.
Time to lose.
I'm almost tempted to sort of stun her. thing is, if I do that, I don't quite have a way to get... You know what, let's just do it, right? Let's just use Striker to get us breaks done. The problem is that if I do it, I actually don't really have a way of getting back Verso's AP, because Clea won't be attacking us.
I'll manage.
And a good, a decent 8 mil damage too. Wow.
I've lived through worse.
Yeah, for this turn, we essentially have nothing we can do. Except attack. I do believe we are in phase 3. So I need to mentally prepare myself for Tricky Nevron, the one move that we need to master. With Versus damage, it might, if we get lucky with a few of the procs, right? With Versus damage, it might be possible for us to sort of blast through the final phase with only 1 or 2 Trickies. Because Tricky is the one move that's kind of difficult to learn. It is the one move that happens at the very end of the fight. And she doesn't do it as much. Or at least she didn't used to use it as much before, but after the patch I feel like she uses it a bit more. So you have more opportunities to sort of learn it. For this turn, however, we are not going to be doing any damage because we kind of need to buff you back up. Oh, here it comes. We made it. Might have gotten a bit lucky there. Ah, only 4 mil? This is just me guessing there, right?
I'll improvise.
But after the patch, I feel like she does Tricky Nevron once every 2 moves. Or it feels like she does. So, definitely more chances to learn. I guess we'll know if he does Tricky on this turn. So is it just me, or do I feel like Clea has actually gotten a bit slower? We are getting some turns where she's only getting to attack us once. Ooh, 37. Good job. So not once every 2 moves, but she definitely does it more. Might be just completely randomized. At this point, she has a plethora of moves, right? The 3 moves from phase 1, the 3 moves from phase 2, and Tricky. So she has a total of 7 moves that she can cycle through. So it might be just percentage based as to what she's using. Oh, 25 now.
Just try it.
Which, like I said, means that if we get lucky with the roulette procs, we might be able to defeat her without getting the additional Tricky.
Maximum damage.
Well, I appreciate your faith in us doing maximum damage, but we don't have powerful at the moment. So we're gonna have to get it back. And probably survive one more Tricky, since the fight is dragging on here. Okay, now we're doing maximum damage. Good damage, not maximum damage, definitely. Tricky! Oh, wow, we might... This practice session might actually be when I manage to defeat Clea at times 100. Assuming we don't get another tricky, we somehow we managed to actually go through 2 trickies without getting hit. That is a genuine surprise in my list, by the way, because like I said, I haven't played Expedition in a while. So I was completely expecting to come in to the fight very rusty and getting hit by everything. But it seems to have had the opposite effect in a bit of an ironic change. Like, if we get like 30 mil damage, that's the fight right here. Oh my god, we got 30 mil damage right there. Wow. I can't tell you guys how happy I am. I've been working on this fight for quite a while. And to be honest, I was not expecting to actually beat her tonight. Oh my god. Which is why, if you look at the name of the stream, it's more clear solo practice. I was just expecting solo practice in itself. I was not expecting to actually clear the fight, but we managed to do it. We managed to get a times 100 clear on the fight. Let me bask in the moment just a little bit longer, everyone, as I find a bottle of water to drink. You know what, Lance? I'm gonna say it was you wishing me luck. That is the clincher. Because yeah, I am just genuinely surprised that we made it. Genuinely surprised. But yes, finally, after a very long time, we can begin to look at the other areas of Expedition 33, and I can actually go on to finish the game. Unless we run into another super boss, at which point I try times 100ing it again. And let's enjoy the cutscene here, because
She's Clea's creation.
a very emotionally resonating scene for me. A very sad one too. Yeah, very emotionally heavy, especially if you yourself have an elder sister. And if you have one that doesn't like listening to you, you can kind of imagine them doing this for you.
I'm sorry.
Uh, well, most of us can, I guess. Depends on your situation. But I know my older sister would actually do something like that. She never listens to me, but she's always trying to do what she thinks is best. And with that, you get like a really, really good Pictos, clears health, and a perfect chroma catalyst to boost someone else's damage, along with other grandiose chroma catalysts. Probably should heal everyone, right? Because, well, not everyone, it's just CL and Verso. And we will shift the party back to Mile and yeah, Monaco's level 80. When did that happen? I'm gonna put sure, why not? Let's actually put Verso in because he's gonna level up pretty soon from the EXP he got from the fight. But yeah, for me that is a very emotionally resonant scene. And one of the reasons why I did in general, just the setup for the game with the family is it's very reminiscent of my own family. Like there's one middle-aged brother, an elder sister, a younger sister. So I find it a bit easy to relate to, even to Verso. Though technically speaking, Verso is sort of a terrible character in the game. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. But yeah, we can finally move on from Flying Manor. I have to get myself a clip of that fight much later. Right, even the music has stopped for the area. And if you head on over to the NPC there, she will give you a set of costumes for the Clea costume for any one character you want. This must be Minoko, right? Oh, it's not Minoko, it's... Oh, we don't actually have enough points to learn anything else. Let me adjust the stream information because we are no longer doing the solo challenge. There we go. Done on one side. Unfortunately, I can't change it on YouTube, so if anyone of you is watching on YouTube, please understand we actually somehow managed to complete the challenge. And I'm now gonna explore the rest of Act 3, which I have been ignoring for a very, very long time. You're hearing a clickety-clack, me changing the stream titles. There we go. Oh, I also sort of need to like reset up all the characters now that we managed to times 100 clear. Very, very satisfying. I can't quite explain it either. Just realizing that I never got into the inventory menu right now. One perfect chroma catalyst, so I do have an option of who I want to invest into, and I might just invest into Lune. Okay, not Lune. CL. Right, I'm not sure what I want to go into with CL. So we have to think about what we want to use. Free aim shots can consume 1 foretell to deal 100% more damage. Base attack applies 3 foretell. During Twilight, free aim shots deal double damage. This is a weapon that's going to allow you to go for a CL machine gun build, I suppose. Also, I'm sort of realizing that the menu in this game clashes horribly with our text chat in the corner. I am so sorry for that. I should probably put up something to hide that, right? Maybe a blur or something much later. Blizzon. While having at least one active moon charge, the moon skills are always critical, but damage taken is doubled. While having at least one active moon charge, moon skills are always critical, but damage taken is doubled. This sounds like a good weapon to have if you're going for a critical hit build. A build which is not based on critical, which is kind of the case as you can see from the right over here. CL is very much spec'd into agility, not anything else. Burgeleon. Conceiving Foretell applies 2 burn on target per sun charge, 100% increased burn damage. Twilight's sun skills give 1 more charge. Sun skills always apply 10 foretell, but all damage taken is doubled. Base attack gives 1 moon charge and consumes all foretell to apply burn. 100% increased burn damage. It's another burn setup right here. Corderon. Curse self on battle start. Deal 50% more damage while cursed. Reset curse duration when entering Twilight State. Curse. What exactly do you mean by curse self in battle? Is it like the inverse stat? Let me take a look at the weapon. Okay, it might be inverse. It also scales with defense and luck, which unfortunately is not what we're looking for. I'm looking for... Does Seal actually have any additional stats anywhere else? I guess we're looking for agility first. For plus 1 AP on moon charge and turn start, base attack gives 1 moon charge. While having at least 1 active sun charge, apply 1 burn stack. Already taken. Yeah, I really haven't put in too much thought of what kind of build I want for CL. %20% increased dark damage skills. Oh yeah, this I thought was a very interesting weapon, right? Because with this one, you're not gonna get any moon charges, so you're gonna be relying entirely on sun skills. Moist sun. During twilight, all damage dealt is converted to dark damage, which is not ideal, to be honest. I feel like a lot of enemies kind of resist dark damage. Base attack gives 1 moon charge. Moon skills give 1 moon charge. Remescent. A pretty nice looking weapon, all things considered, but oh, okay, never mind. It's not nice. It's just a weapon wrapped up in cloth. I'm not. Are we trying to blunt damage the enemies to death? So recover 5% per health. This is the one you want if you are going for a healing CL. Plus 2 sun charges on counterattack. Huh, interesting. Focus Hotel. So essentially, you're telling me that I can get a sun charge from just counterattacking. And then rely on Sealed Fate to sort of go into Twilight almost immediately. Isseron. Another interesting weapon here. This one gives her one additional Twilight turn and immediately allows Seal to play when entering Twilight, which is not always ideal, right? Because what happens with this is that when you enter Twilight, immediately you end up with not having enough AP. So, not what I kind of want to use. At the end of the day, we might be going for a burn element because my general feeling is that a lot of the enemies in this game are like very weak to fire. Do I want to build this up? Garganon. Base attack can consume one turn charge. Apply 5 foretell. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try with this. Even though it's dark damage, which I feel like a lot of enemies are like really resistant to. We might be wasting our perfect chroma catalyst, but it's gonna be worth it, I hope. And I've also need to sort of reapply everyone's pictos because I changed it to match the solo build we were going for. So you are gonna be getting a bit of crit rate. Random defense. Apply 3 burn to enemies on death. Okay, that seems good. We're learning energizing stun, so gonna have to keep that for a bit. Perilous parry is on Verso at the moment. Roulette is on. Wait a minute, roulette is on you. Did I not have roulette on? No, I'm sure I had roulette on. Just maybe not with the. Oh yeah, I did. Just not with the Pictos itself. Okay, so what do I want to give? Do I want to give Confident to you? Because that works pretty well too, just that you can't be healed, and we're sort of going for that build that doesn't really rely on getting hit. Take 50% less damage but can't be healed. Auto death, no. Apply 3 burn stacks when breaking our target. Greater powerful. Ah, okay, this might be actually the way to go. I don't need too much crit at the moment. What I kind of want is power. Wait a minute, that lowered. Okay, never mind. We need something with a higher crit rate. The idea is to sort of have enough of a crit rate that CL has 100% crit. 95 is pretty close though. If we can apply things like burn, we can probably use those. So now, let's look at my favorites. Remove all. Reset. When encountered, counter and breaking burn. Cleansing tint, no, not at the moment. Combo 1, empowering parry. Energizing parry, do I want it? Energizing start is pretty good. Glass cannon. In medias res is good to have too when you're learning a fight. Painted power. Of course. Of course we want to have painted power, yeah. And painter. Perilous parry. Teamwork. Warming up. Weakness gain. And then we're just gonna have to use our extra bonus points for something else. Looking at Moisten. Moisten is working on Twilight, right? And it's increasing dark damage. I don't have a Picto. We don't have a Picto, which relies specifically on dark damage. So what kind of skills are we looking for here? Just jump is okay to have. Shots, not so much. I'm kind of tempted to take like powerful greater rush and greater shell on CL, because her all set, it pretty much just gives every character just that. Yeah, I'm honestly not sure what to go for if you're using this certain weapon. Uh, Gonna be a bit of a boring few minutes, I guess, for you guys, because this is just gonna be me trying to figure out all the setups that I'm gonna use for the characters going forward. It's been so long since I played, I don't quite remember what I was using for these characters before, and uh, all I have in mind is really how to use the solo builds. I have never experimented with characters doing anything else. Let me take a look at your skills. Focus Foretell applies 2 Foretell, applies 3 additional Foretell if target has 0 Foretell. Yeah, this is the base attack we use when we have almost nothing. All set is our buff. Final path is the break skill. Sealed Fate. Okay, one skill I have not used is Fortune's Fury, and I feel like it might be a good skill to have. And between Final Path and Spectral Sweep, at a high crit rate, Spectral Sweep seems to be the better way to go, right? Okay, yeah. It's gonna be our build for CL at the moment. And I'm gonna use... upgrade it just without thinking too much. The Moisan. I even have enough Grandos. I did not have enough Grandos Catalyst. I was hoping we could take this up to maximum, but I guess not. Unfortunate. Because max weapons have a very different amount of power to them. As you can see. Very different. I guess we are hunting for chroma catalysts in the future. Absorb allies' health and enemies' foretell to increase damage. Our sacrifice. Another skill that we can experiment with. Still has such interesting weapon combinations. Okay, thankfully we're done setting up CL. Let's take a look at Lune. I have Separim on Lune, and I do believe the reason for that was I was using lightning dance quite a bit. Lightning dance and stormcaller, like that felt like really useful. We have rebirth too, but not using it too much. Crushful Crush, also good. Wildfire. Now, fire and ice skills are more or less just for giving her the additional stain. Thunderfall. Give me a sec. Let me take a quick break. Alright, and back. That break took me a bit longer than I was expecting. Just doing a few household chores in the meantime. But yes, welcome back. Not doing anything too new right now. Sort of figuring out what kind of skills we want on Lune here. And what kind of pictos we want on her as well. Do I have a picto that is not learned? I feel like I had a picto that was learning on Lune, but I don't quite remember what it was. And it was a very low level picto that I just didn't pick up because I felt like it was kind of useless at the time. Was it energizing stun? Sure, why not? We need to learn that. Something. Yeah, let me just go over through the list and see if we can. Oh, yeah, here it is. Powered attack. On every damage dealt, try to consume 1 AP. If successful, increase damage by 20%. This was one of the skills I wanted to use while we were fighting against Clea, but we kind of never got around to it because, well, we didn't know it. We hadn't learned it. So now, once again, I'm going to start with our favorites. Augmented counter, counter 2, breaking burn, burning death, charging restoration, cleansing. Wait, oh, sorry. Not quite done there. Give me a second. Okay. Cleansing tint, I don't really want. Combo, empowering, energizing. No, Luna actually has considerably less AP, mainly because he has stuff like these on her at the moment. Shielding death and auto death. Double burn also, not kind of don't need it. Energizing death also we don't need. Longer burn, longer powerful. It's not burn that I want on her. It's more like, see, there are a lot of pictos that go very well with burn builds, but not as much for things like lightning and thunder, so not quite sure what I want. We kind of want teamwork for one thing. Alphabetical. Teamwork working. Warming up. Weakness gain. Yeah, sure. That works. Perilous parry 2. And of course, painted power. Can't play the lost share here without that. Glass cannon. Sure, let's go with it. These are all skills that I've been using, so that's why they have the favorite icon. Yeah, really not quite sure what to use with Lune. I guess we could try a healing build, but I don't really rely on heals too much in this game. In fact, I played the entire game without relying too much on healing spells. Items, yes. Spells, not so much. Stay marked. We have 50 points and I have no idea what to use it on. Attack by seal, anti-freeze. Well, at some point we do apply burn, so sure, why not? Burn affinity. I guess we could always go for cheater, but cheater doesn't really feel useful if you're not pairing it with like combo attack 3 or something, because you don't have enough AP to use a character too well. Guess we can go with confident, because really not understanding what else to use it here. Energizing burn 2, or energizing cleanse. Jump. Start to... Okay, maybe having all the energizing stuff will be great on Lune, because, yeah. She's pretty much our spellcaster, right? And that's Lune's setup done for now. But what do I want as her weapon? Zephyrin. Troubadour. I'm looking for anything that increases our lightning damage, which might be just Deminarum. Ring. Yeah, Deminarum might be the way to go, except I don't think I have enough upgrade points to upgrade her Deminarum too high. We have a lot of polished chroma catalysts, but not grandiose. So it's gonna be stuck at the mid-level. Yeah, at 19. Which is not ideal, because at this point we kind of want weapons that are like very high. I need to find a way to farm upgrade materials. So we're gonna go with Crowling for now. We're gonna move you out of Bloodiv and go to Confuso. Lansrum, or it burn on critical hits. What are you using anyway? Critical, critical. Getting a lot of speed in critical here. Okay, powerful overlord. Funny thing is, you don't usually do a lot of burn damage, so from fire might be good to have. No. Yeah, the problem with Confuso is that... Oh, it's light damage on burn. Apply 3 burn instead of mark. Okay, yeah, you know what? You might actually be working, like, okay-ish. It is a bit of a shame we don't have a fire spell, though. I don't even think Verso has a fire skill, which makes this a very interesting weapon to have. So why have I spec him into defense? Oh, it was because I was using Blodem, and Blodem was defense and agility. But this is actually... Confuso is agility and luck. Let's take a look at what you have. Demonum Dualiso. Counterattack is always a critical hit. Sire Soap. An interesting weapon, right? This is... Huh. Yeah, I think I saw this last time as well, and I was like, this might be a good weapon to have if you're making a support verso, which I don't think is something a lot of people do. Maybe in the future, right? Because I feel like a support Westerno might be a fun build to try out. He has so many support skills. But yeah, that's it. I might just go for Confuso for now. And respec him back into the actual stats he's basing his weapon off on, which should be not defense but crit. And you also have 3 additional points. When did that happen? Agility, crit. Might. Pretty much a glass cannon at this point, but let's spread out the rest of the points equally. Just so, just so. Vitality and defense being the big one. He's already going to do an okay amount of damage, I think. And because of that, we can sort of alter his Pictos here. Because he has like 125% crit rate. Instead of crit, do I want to go for speed? Or health, I guess. Clea's life is... I mean, we have to learn this, so... might as well give it to Urso over here. And that sort of augments his lack of health and vitality. Mael. What do I want to play you as? I'm not going to use Last Chance too much on. Okay, Rain of Fire. Defensive stance. What do I have on you? Offensive, defensive. And Stendhal. The great Stendhal. Let's see if we can find some more defensive stance ones. Here's a Virtuoso one. Paralyze, Revenge. Piercing. One hit. Okay guys, I'm gonna take a break for now because you know what, all these stats and things I'm gonna do off stream. I will catch you guys in like a few hours and probably be on WeChat by then. If anyone's watching, give me a sec and I'll be, oh, not a sec, I guess an hour or two and I'll be right back. Take care everyone. Bye.